Hello all you games fans and welcome to a very exciting new episode of Photoshop Defined, our first ever, and this is a beginner's tutorial on Photoshop. So if you open up Photoshop and then drag your image in, I've chosen this image of a girl smiling in the rain, in quotation marks, because there's no rain there, strangely enough, but it's got a bright new colourful umbrella. And this is going to be the thing we're going to colourize today and learn how to do. We're also going to make the background grayscale and black and white, so the black and white contrasts with the colourful umbrella. There's two tools and two ways of doing this. I'm going to explain both of them today. So if you go into Window and have a look and see if adjustments, colour, layers, options and tools are ticked. These are going to form the basics of what we're going to be doing today, and you need them ticked to be able to do what we're going to do today. So at the side you see your tools bar, and here there's all different kind of tools, such as you can erase stuff. If I hadn't had that background there, so there we go, you can erase stuff. If you've done a mistake, just press Ctrl and Z. If you've done several mistakes like here, just press Ctrl and Z. As you can see on the second Ctrl and Z press, it brings it back again. So if you hold down Ctrl, Alt and Z, you can just move two mistakes with two presses of that instead of bringing it back. There's also a step backwards on the edit and undo on the actual edit there. You can also step forward if you want to redo something that you've just undone. So there we go, we've just brought back our two eraser marks. So yeah, that's good to know. There's also, if you hold down Ctrl and minus, you can move up and down and zoom in into the image in and out. You can also use the Magnifier tool and just click the bit of the one you want to center on. So there we go, I've just centered in on this lady's face and moved out. Just by holding down the mouse, clicking the mouse button, and then moving my cursor up and down. And you can move and zoom in and out. So I'm going to zoom in a nice place of the umbrella. Right, the two tools I'm going to be using today are the magnetic lasso and the quick selection tool. If you haven't got them, and you can see the lasso tool icon, which looks like a little ring, or the polygonal tool, and I've got no idea how to pronounce that, which looks like a little two triangle symbol. Just hold your mouse down on one of them icons. So if I've got the lasso tool here, just hold your mouse over it and then you'll see the magnetic lasso tool. Same goes for the quick selection tool. If you've got something that looks like a magical fairy wand, just hold down your mouse over it and then press the quick selection tool. I'm going to be showing you the two differences in these two different techniques. Like the quick selection tool, if you just, I've got a big brush at the moment, if you've got a big brush tool, just go down to that arrow there and then move your size down to a more comfortable size to be working with. I'm going to go for a size of 16 for this. And then I'm also going to press the one with a plus, the quick selection tool with a plus bar on the menu bar here. And that's add to selection. If you want to subtract from a selection, press the subtract, which I'll show you in a minute. So I'm going to plus to this selection. And as you can see, I'm going to hover down this little triangle here. And I'm just going to click and it adds that selection, and that's what I'm going to be working with later on. So this little kind of eggs kind of animated thing is the selection what you're going to be working with. So I want to select all of this umbrella. To do this, I'm just going to hold down Shift and then click on another bit of the umbrella. Keep on going around the umbrella just by clicking and moving my mouse along. And there we go. And I'm going to use Ctrl and C, Ctrl and V, and it's added a new layer there, and that is my umbrella. So if I move this, I've got a new selection of that umbrella with the girl's face cut off. The only hard point about this image is that this lady's got some quite long hair, and if you can see here, if I move this along, there's actually little strands of it with little red see-through bits of the umbrella. These won't be actually edited when we do the selection. You can also, when you redo this, you can just, if you say we've got this bit of the umbrella selected, you just move out of it to see that bit. So if I've moved down to here, select this bit of the umbrella, and then move along to more comfortable brush size again. I'm only going to click about size of 4. We can then just select that bit of red hair. So if you want to put a bit more detail on this, there's extra credit for you if you can get this lady's hair and all the little gaps correctly selected when we come to do it, and you'll see the problem in a minute. So now that I've got this umbrella selected, then if you go into layer and then new adjustment layer and then go with Hue and Saturation, then if you click the check box, use previous layer to create a clipping mask, click that, press OK, and then that has actually selected our layer. The layer is this umbrella. Then if you go to colourize, instead of colorizing the whole thing, it's just colourize this umbrella. We can then move the hue along to select our colour, and I'm going to go with a nice purple umbrella. I'm going to make it nicely saturized, which means there's a lot of colour inside there, and then make it a little bit darker. So there we go. Once you come out of there, just click these two little arrows to come out of it. And there we go, nice purple umbrella. But the thing you may have noticed that I've been a bit too lazy to do is around the edges of the hair, there's still a lot of red. If you want to, we can just go over that, as much detail as possible. Get rid of head there, which is probably a bit worrying. I'm going to change the size of the brush, move along her hair, and then you can actually paint it the same colour as the umbrella to just hide that. So I'm just going to do it roughly for now. So I'm just going to rasterize. So anyway, let's move on. So we've got that. There's a few defects in there, but you can slowly start to make selection editables if you've got more time than I have. And next thing, let's go with the magnetic lasso and just click on one of the points of the umbrella. Then just hover your mouse down and it'll start making selectable edits around the umbrella. These little squares are the points you want to select, and the little line is the selection. The points help the selection around it, so you can start to make slowly detailed edits around her. So as you can see, I'm really going quite quick now. I'm not making too much detail. I'm going to select more with the quick selection brush. But as you can see, the magnetic tool is quite handy when you want to make detailed edits, as well as make a quick selection and then tidy it up with something like the quick selection brush, which is what I like to do. So as you can see, I'm slowly starting, and I can get an endpoint here. I can then use the quick selection brush, hover it down to a reasonable size, use the minus of there, and then click that to get rid of that X. I'm also going to plus, and I'm also going to plus down to the floor because it hasn't quite selected all of her. Right, now I've got all of her aside from the background, aside from this little bit here. I'm going to go into select and then invert or shift Control and I, and that selects the background layer instead of her. And then what we need to do next is go into here and then go around and find Channel Mixer, which is the three circles. If you press that and then monochrome, you can monochrome the background or grayscale the background out. Then we can move the sliders along until we get a nice kind of atmosphere. So as you can see, the colourful girl is offsetted by the nice and gloomy background. And that's today's first beginner tutorial. You can put more effort into it to try and get rid of the little defects around her hairstyle and a little bit around her jacket there. But otherwise, that's today's tutorial. If you've got any comments or need any help, put it in the comments below and tell us what you liked and what you didn't like about today's pilot episode. I've been Lone Wolf, we've been Games to Find, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Enjoy!